Hello, Shelly Lamb, fiber artist from Art of the Hook and Needle. Before we get started today, I'm going to be talking about some tools and the fiber that we're going to be using to do our granny squaring like a pro, along with the magic circle technique. So today I am using a handcrafted, hand-turned Chad Burka woodcraft hook. This is one of a kind. Every single one is different. And this is amazingly light. For those of you who have never worked with a wood hook, you don't have any idea. Like, I thought it would be heavier, and it actually is lighter than any of my hooks, including my addies that are plastic and metal, and then the baits. But I can't believe how light it is and how I love working with it. I have two of his pieces, and one is not the ergonomic, and this is a 4, and this is a 5, 5 millimeter, and this one is more ergonomic. So I prefer ergonomic, but I use both. It's not going to stop me from not using it. It's just this one actually is amazing for me personally because I use the Addy hooks. I tend to like the ergo feel of the hook. So, if, by the way, I'm not affiliated with Chad Burka. I do not receive any credit for talking about these items, but he is a local handmaker, and I love to support those who support our craft, as well as supporting their craft and what they like to do. If you head over to his YouTube, I'll post a video link below. You'll see that he actually posts how he makes his items, and whether those be for the hooks or he makes bowls. He does all sorts of items in regards to his abilities. So I also have a yarn bowl, and what he did with this was he actually took like 5 different wood types, glued them together, blocked it out, and to make this amazing piece to come out in the end. I can't. It's just amazingly beautiful. By the way, all of this is affordable. Not very expensive. And according to Chad, the process to turn one of these is about an hour and 15 minutes. He actually has a video in his YouTube as well where you can see he had made a different type for a different person. So I will link that down at the bottom. Now, let's talk about the fiber I'm using today. The fiber is Touch of Alpaca by Lanning Brand, and it has 10% alpaca and it has 90% acrylic. So unfortunately, because it has natural fiber, it is going to require it to wash cool and dry flat. But tip that I've talked about before in other videos is I actually dry air fluff, not hot, but air fluff in my dryer for all of my natural fiber pieces or anything that I cannot dry. So that's a fun, neat trick, and it's very inexpensive to do that as well. This color is dusty blue, and there's so many different color choices that you can get, and it is 207 yards per skein. So I will link the all the Lion Brand choices, but it is soft. It's going to be amazing for my project that I'm working on, which I won't talk about what that is until I'm finished with it. But this is how it works up and how beautiful that color is, dusty blue. So next up, we will start with the magic circle and get started with our granny square. So now we're ready to start doing our tutorial of the magic circle, as well as I'm going to show you how to work and slip stitch into the corner so that you're always starting your row in the corner. I think it looks a little bit more professional when you do that. Other patterns that you might read for the classic granny have you coming up in the middle, and then your chain 3, which is always considered your first double, is in the middle of the granny. So I just like to go into the corner, and it just works out really better than that. I guess it's a matter of preference. More importantly, though, I just love how the closed circle looks rather than the open circle. So let's get started. All we do is put our yarn behind the end piece behind. We wrap it around 3 and we cross over. I'm going to put my hook and I'm going to grab and pull one little chain. So now I have a circle and I'm holding it with my thumb and my forefinger. Then I'm going to grab it with my other hand, the circle, and so I can work my hook, and I am going to chain 3. This is going to be our first double. It is easier to actually hold the chain as you're working it or hold the circle as you're working it. So this is our first double into the circle. Then I'm going to do 2 more doubles. And I'm holding the base of the circle, and it makes it easier to actually work the circle. Once we get past the starting point, it will be so much easier. Okay, so this is my third double. So I have 1 set of 3. I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to do another set of 3. And hold, excuse me, hold the base. It's so much easier when you hold the base once you get your hook. Hold the base. As we go through. Now I have 2 sets of 3. After each set of 3, I'm going to chain 2. So chain 2. And I'm going to do another set of 3. 3. Chain 2 again. And this will be our last set of 3. We have to do 3 more doubles. One, 2, 3. I'm doing the full tutorial so that you can do it with me. Then I just completed, so now we have four sets of 3, which is what we want in our first round. And then I'm going to chain 2 because we just completed 3. So this is the fun part. This is actually the fun part about the magic circle, is now all I have to do is take the end piece, the end yarn, and I'm going to pull it. See how it's pulling? And you don't even have to pull that tight. It actually just is closing that circle, closing that circle. Look at how fun that looks. Okay, so we just leave our end yarn right there and we'll weave it in when we're done. But we now have to close and finish this round. So what you do is you slip stitch into the first, your chain 3 when you went up. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch. So now we have 4 corners and 4 sets of 3. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to slip stitch in the next V on top. I'm going to slip stitch into the next chain space, which is our first corner. And now I'm going to chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be my first double. Then I'll do 2 more doubles to make my set of 3. I'm in the corner. I'm going to chain 2 because I'm in the corner. I'm going to do another set of 3 in the same corner. What that does is that gives us a corner. I'll show you real quick. And it gives us our corner view. You can see this is round 2. Now, when we're doing our granny square, what we want to do is when we're outside of the corner, we're only going to do chain 1 instead of chain 2. We only do the chain 2 in the corner so that it makes the corner. So we just do chain 1 because we're not in the corner and we want to get to the corner. Then we're going to go into the next corner space and do a set of 3 doubles. And then since we're in the corner, we're going to do chain 2. Then I'm going to do 3 more doubles in the same corner. We're just making another corner. Now we have 2 corners. Now we're outside the corner, so I'm just going to chain 1 to get to the next corner. And then put my hook in the next corner. And then I'm going to do my next set of 3 in the corner, 3 doubles. And then chain 2 because we're in the corner, another set of 3 doubles in the same corner. Then we're going to do a chain 1 because we're outside of the corner to get us to the next corner. And we'll do a set of 3 doubles. Should have balled my yarn. Sorry guys. Chain 2 because we're in the corner. And another set of 3 in the same corner. And we're going to chain 1 because we're outside the corner, and then we're going to meet up with our first chain 3. So to finish the row, we slip stitch into our chain 3. And now we're going to be on round, so it should look like this, or my working side. Now what we'll do is we're going to slip stitch into the next V to get us to the corner, slip stitch into the corner, and now we're working from row 3 in our corner. And I'm gonna quick do my so I did my chain 3, and now I'm gonna do 2 doubles. I'm in the corner, so I want to do chain 2, do another set of 3 in the corner, 3 doubles. Then I'm outside of the corner, so I'm going to do chain 1. And now you notice on row 3, we have another chain space to work with. And as you grow your granny, depending on if you're making a blanket or how many rows you're doing with your granny, all you're going to keep on doing is doing 3 doubles in each chain space that you have. And as you grow, you're going to have more chain spaces. So we have 1 chain, and now we're going to go into the middle here and do 3 doubles. I'm still outside the corner, so I'm going to do 1 chain then to get me to the corner. Now I'm in the corner, I'm going to do my my set of 3, chain 2 because I'm in the corner, another set of 3 in the same corner, I'm just going to work through round 3, and then I'm going to show you some very professional weaving tips and tricks as well. So I had to chain 1 because I'm outside of the corner, and I'm going to go into our middle space here and do a set of 3 doubles. And I'm doing a full tutorial for those who don't know how to do granny squares, so excuse me for those that do. So I did a chain 1 because I'm outside of the corner, but I'm going into the corner. So I'm going to do 3 sets of doubles. Chain 2. And another 3 set in the same corner to form the corner. So basically that's all we're doing, is we're forming the corners by putting 2 sets of doubles, 2 sets of 3 doubles and chain 2s. So I'm going outside of the corner, and I'm just going to do a chain 1 and go into the middle chain space. You're always going to go into your chain spaces. I finished my 3, so chain 1 to get me to the corner. And do my 3 doubles. Chain 2 because I'm in the corner, and do another 3 in the same corner to form my corner. Chain 1 because I'm out of the corner, and I'm going to go into the middle set of 3. And then chain 1, and I'm going to meet up with my my beginning of my row. And how I'll get to the next row is I just slip stitch into the chain 3 of our start, and then to your next row you're going to have actually see the two that are outside of the corner. So now you have 2 spaces. So that's how you grow as you go around, is you're just adding and adding and adding. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to complete my my square here, and I am going to cut and I'm just going to go back in here and make a knot so that we close it off and it's secure. So that's hidden. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to professionally weave your ends. So I will start with our magic circle. And let me darn my needle real quick, our darning needle. So what I do, we're always going to be working on our wrong side of our fabric, and whoever came up with the fabric as being the term that's used. I don't know why, but that's what the proper term is. So we have a wrong side and a right side of our fabric. This is the right side, the side that would be facing out. The wrong side is actually where, you know, the back side of your project. We always obviously want to weave on the back side of our projects. And how I'm going to professionally weave is with my darning needle. I'm going to secure our original magic circle. And I'm going to put my needle through the next loop on the circle and pull through, but leave a little bit. Then I'm going to just make a knot, and I'm going to pull it tight so that you can't see, plus it secures the circle. Then what I do is I actually go around and pull through the yarn, weaving, it's called weaving in, and just pull it through so it secures it even more. Then we cut as close as possible to our fabric, and just pull a little bit so it hides your end. Ooh. I always weave in my ends, especially when I'm doing projects like this, so that it doesn't, you know, at the end you don't want to, and finishing off your projects is probably the hardest part, I feel is the hardest part. So the less I have to do this in the end, the greater. I just darned my needle, the end piece we had from the top, and how I do this is I actually just poke it through. We already made the knot when we finished it, and then I go through the V's at the top and pull through, and then pull through. We always want to end up, like I said, at the wrong side of the fabric, the wrong side, because just in case the yarn is coming out or showing a little bit. And then we cut as close as possible to our fabric. Woohoo, we finished 3 rounds. So there's your professional looking weaving in, as well as your magic circle tutorial. Also, I just wanted to show you, I have this I always put my tools away. I have this really cool item I bought on Amazon, and basically I have all these needles, this needle kit that I bought, and I just put my, it fits really nice in my accessory bag. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope happy 2021. This is my first video in 2021, and I hope you enjoyed the close-up granny square. If you complete this, please post your photos and comments down at the bottom for me. Happy yarning.